Sally? Stu?
In July 2020, Sally and Stuart started work on their second Tudor House restoration. This house dating back to 1567, taking it back to the Elizabethan era. It's fair to say that the Forgans have come across many obstacles along the way, the largest being a global pandemic. Phase 1 of the project was to gut the property. During this process, they could discover what structural work was required. Throughout this time, they have discovered a cellar just below where the ground floor bathroom is to go, and more recently a well in the back garden, which is conveniently right under the footings for the new extension. The well is proven to be more work than the Forgans first anticipated. It has taken weeks to empty, and all by hand.
The original deadline for this project was June this year. It's been a couple of months since I've been down to see the Forgans in the house, so it's time to revisit and find out if their dreams are indeed becoming a reality. Okay, so Sally, it's been a while since I've actually visited you in the house. It's quite clear to see that things are progressing in the house, but the last time I was here you was having issues with the wood.
Yeah, so that set us back a few months, so we couldn't actually do any work in the house. So we've really only just got back in and started doing things like insulating the roof and boarding out the different rooms and starting to put the stud walls up, things like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had 3 months where we couldn't really work in here. So it's now sort of been resolved as much as it will ever be resolved. It will never be the same as it was, but I had it soda blasted again. It's looking a lot better, mm-hmm. and it, was resolved as much as it will, and we just accepted that we had to just move on. But while we couldn't work inside, we started digging the foundations for the extension, and thought we'd focus outside for a bit, which was fine until we came across the well, which then put a stop to everything outside. We could have just filled it in and covered it up, but I don't like
Sally being Sally.
I need a
You're
digging project. So once we'd started digging, then just carried on. But yeah, it was 150 years of muck.
When you first discovered the well, I promised I would abseil down it.
You did, yeah. And you said if I dug it out and got to the bottom, you'd do that, which was my main motivation for keeping digging.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I really appreciate that.
How are you feeling about your trip?
That's deep.
Yeah, it looks it, doesn't it? Feels deeper when you're in there as well.
Does it?
Not wanting to worry you. What do you reckon?
I think we should just do it.
The hell was that? What the hell was that? Are you stuck?
Nah.
About a third of the way down.
Cheers, Sal. All in the aid of YouTube. This must be mad. Yay! I'm at the bottom.
Yay! How's it feel?
It feels great.
Should we go and get a beer?
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, time to get out. Sally? Stu? Sally? Stu? The well's got a bit of a story behind it as well, because you found quite a few items in there.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you actually find?
Well, I can remember when we first started looking and talking to you about it, we were really hoping for some treasure.
Yeah, you didn't find it.
I didn't find any treasure. I didn't find
Rubbish.
a single coin or anything. It, literally just rubbish. So the first sort of metre or two was big lumps of concrete, stone, rubble, like fairly modern stuff. And then it just got to layers and layers of mud. So it was just buckets of mud. So in the mud, there were like some old bottles and things, some nice old bottles, some with some marks on. So if you look them up, sort of that date back quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other thing really that we found was shoes, like a bucket load of shoes.
What do you think, why was the reason that shoes might have been done? I mean, you can almost understand bottles because it's like,
just
rubbish,
chucking
get rid of
rubbish.
it.
Yeah, and sort of broken
But
crockery.
shoes is a bit strange.
It's a bit strange because there's so many of them as well. So a couple of people have said that people did hide shoes to ward off evil spirits. So you can find them in walls of buildings, things like that.
Okay.
So maybe. Yeah, so now it's emptied, we can get on with
Yeah.
actually building something rather than digging
Yeah.
something out.
So we should really, in the next coming months, start seeing this house really,
Yeah,
develop
it
now,
really
really.
should start to change. Quite
yeah.
famous last words, but yeah. Hope, because there can be no more surprises in the ground, so
No,
we can just go up.
you
now.
haven't taken up the floor in the front room yet.
Oh, no. I don't think I'll ever be allowed to do that.
Any chance of bringing me some ladders, please? Because I don't want to stay down here forever. I don't. Could you pass me the ladder?
No, mate.
Can I have the ladders now?
Yeah.
The original deadline for this project was June this year. The original deadline for this project was June this year. It's been a couple of years since I've been down. The original deadline for this project was June this year. It's been a couple of months since I've been down to see the Forgans in the house, so it's time to revisit and find out if their dreams are indeed becoming a